listening to Strange Label.
All right, this is the Chris Brake Show. I'm Chris Brake, sitting here with John Rapp.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, Chris.
What's up? All right,
What's up, man?
Let's do this. That was exciting. All right, John, we got a lot of feedback since your episode went up with you ranting and raving. Did you get any backlash from that at all?
I haven't heard a word about it from anybody. People who listen to it, huh?
Yeah. Somebody said it was a wild ride. Somebody wanted to know if you were either on drugs or now off drugs.
Yeah, switching.
Yeah.
No changing my meds, no.
No backlash at all.
No, my parents don't listen to the show. They don't listen to it, don't watch it. Not a fan, I guess.
Wow.
I haven't heard a thing about it.
I would not expect that.
I guess I did, just because I know that they don't listen to the show, because my dad's so afraid that he's going to hear me saying the F word in relation to him.
I think you did.
Did I? I don't think so, but maybe I did.
I liked what you said when you were writing the blog post.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Because what you have to do is you listen to the episodes, and then you write show notes. You know, you write what happens in the episode. And since the whole thing was you complaining about your dad, I imagine you worked yourself up into a frenzy.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, I don't know what to write for this, because right now all I got is my dad is a fag.
Yeah, I sent you a text. It's like, Chris, man, help me out, dude. I don't even know where to start.
I'm like, well, I don't think you should say that. I think you should be objective. Write it in the third person or something.
And I took all those advices and I turned them into a blog post. And there's no F word in there.
It looked pretty professional.
Did it?
Yeah.
I used the sarcasm code.
What's that?
It's a fake HTML code where it looks like you say sarcasm on, and you say something sarcastic, and you turn it off.
Oh. I think I might have saw that.
Yeah, it's in there.
So you said last episode that you were looking forward to listening to it so you could see how it was perceived. Or, you know what I mean? That's something you say, like, I'm looking forward to listening to this. I just want to document this.
Yeah.
What happened when you listened to it?
I haven't listened back to it yet. I don't really like the sound of my own voice, so that kind of creeps me out. And plus, that whole deal with one night my dad heard me playing some sounds, because I walk around recording stuff all the time just to document it, you know. I'm documenting this just so nobody in the future can say, oh, well, what happened was you're the one that shot the guy. What? I have it on tape. You're the one that shot the guy.
Hey, wait, so you just walk around your day-to-day life just recording audio?
Yeah. Lots of found sounds circulating around.
Like in a Norman Wexler way, like Mr. X from that Bob's Muda book, the crazy guy?
I remember Norman, but I don't remember what he did with audio. He just recorded everything, just
constantly. Like the guy, they say the guy was schizophrenic.
Right.
But yeah, he would.
Thanks, Chris.
He would walk around with, he hired a guy to walk around and follow him around with 2 tape recorders in case one of them went out. And he would change the tape constantly. Yeah.
Wow. He just had tapes upon tapes. Why did he do it? Because crazy?
I think so. They said it helped him write.
Yeah.
That he would go back and listen to these, and it would help him write his screenplays. Because the guy, I think, was Academy Award nominated.
Really?
I mean, he wrote Saturday Night Fever and a few other movies. Norman Wexler, look him up.
Yeah, do look that guy up, man. I'd like to get him on the show.
I believe he's dead.
Oh, I still want him.
Yeah, he was. That's
Holograms.
Why in Mr. X, or in Bob's Muda's book, when he was talking about this guy, he kept calling Mr. X.
I love that guy.
They say that the reason, they're like, I don't understand why he wouldn't put his name in there, because Bob's Muda kept saying, basically in fear for my life.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to say his name. And but everyone's like, this guy died before the book was published, so he wouldn't have.
Yeah, and then you get into Bob's Muda, and that guy, you can't trust him as far as you can throw him. He's always playing some type of prank or something, right?
I believe so. Bob's Muda's Andy Kaufman's best friend and writer. If Andy Kaufman had best friends.
Yeah, that's what he claims he was. Yeah.
So you didn't even listen to that episode, John?
Not yet. Because here's why. Because one time my dad, here's something else he yelled at me about, or whatever. One time, apparently I was in my closet listening to one of these recordings that I'd made, and he overheard it, and he heard me saying the F word about him, like my effing dad, F him, this, that, and the F, this, that. I was like, dude, I heard this from my mom because he tells her stuff, and then she tells me stuff. And then I tell her stuff, and she tells him stuff. But I was like, dude, how did he even know what I'm talking about? Like, he's not, like through a closet, is that really clear, audio quality? Like,
and you
can't hear that well anyway.
Have your bedroom door closed?
Yeah.
Do you think he came
if I was in my closet, the door was closed and probably locked.
What are you doing in your closet?
Apparently I can't, if I would, I go in there to record stuff. Like if I have something that I want to say, like this just happened, and it drives me nuts, because that's what my psychiatrist said to do. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good.
I stand by what I said last time.
He's just being, he's lazy.
You need to get a new psychiatrist.
I think you're right. I've yet to find one that's, can keep me mentally in check. I always end up telling them what I'm going to do, and I don't like that. I don't like it one bit.
Yeah. What's the point of going to a psychiatrist?
Well, I meant psychologist, and psychologist is there to hear you complain about stuff, and then they're supposed to be like, oh, well, here's what it is. What I do is I go in there, I'm like, here's what it is. I already know, what is going on, this, that, and the other. My parents don't.
And what they have to do is figure out how to explain to you that you're wrong.
That'd be nice. Yeah, that would be great. But he always agrees with me. I keep telling him, I want you to tell me I'm wrong about this. No, what you're saying is right. I can't be. I don't know what I'm talking about, right?
You need to look at the guy and say, look, I'm destroying all the relationships that I have around me.
That's a good one.
It can't be both ways. I can't be 100% right in this.
Right.
If I'm right, why, everybody in the world can't be wrong.
Well, it's not everybody in the world, it's my parents.
At this moment.
Yeah, I generally get along with people. Like Jane, the dog trainer, came over today. She was telling my parents about how good job I'm doing. Trying to quit cigarettes and all that stuff. She's like, oh, he's doing a great job. He's a good kid.
Wait, why is the Jane, the dog trainer, giving an update on your life to your parents?
Because my parents don't have any friends that come over to the house, so I hired Jane, the dog trainer, to come over to the house. And she turns out she's like some Jewish, into like Jewish, messianic stuff, like my mom is, doesn't celebrate Christmas like my mom. And so I was like, hey, Mom, here's a friend that you can have, Mom. Hey, Mom, you should talk to Jane, and they're sharing books or whatever.
You're always trying to help people.
Well, here's what it is. I bring the dog trainer over, my mom yaks her ear off, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, Mom, half of my dog training lesson was used with you yakking her ear off, So it's like, okay, I get it. I'm
just going to pay this woman to come over here and be your friend.
Basically, yeah. Chad C. Meek is calling.
Nice. I guess, this is a guest we had that sent us a thing. We put up an ad. Should we answer it? Yeah.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Is this Chad Meek?
This is him.
Author of Giant Rock the book and Giant Rock the movie?
Yes, that's me.
Yes.
You got me.
Sweet. Giant Rock the book, available on Kindle for $4.99.
Yes.
We put up
two.
Huh?
Go ahead.
All right, I got to explain the audience. So we put up a ad on this website saying, we want to interview people. And this guy here, Mr. Meek, contacted us and said that he was a author and a UFO abductee. So tell me about these aliens, guy.
The aliens. There's a whole bunch of them. They're walking amongst us, but as far as my own abduction experiences, basically they started at 4 and ended at 10. And actually the identifiable creed would be the Greys, the ones with the weird eyes and short little fellows that, stick metal objects in various orifices of my body. But that's who got me, and that's who tried to get me multiple times.
Wait, so you can describe what they look like. You said they look like Paul from that movie with Seth Rogen?
Yeah, right. They look like.
Is that really what they looked like?
They look effing sinister. They're the most sinister, evil-looking things you want to run across. But
Paul looked cute.
Yeah, well, in the movies, things look cuter. the camera did him justice.
Well, he wasn't real in the movie.
Yeah. So,
yeah. What do you mean? So from the age of 4 to the age of 10, how did they abduct you?
The one that I vividly remember, that they actually, they got me, was they teleported me out of my grandmother's house between my two brothers out to a silver disc, which is roughly about 50 feet outside and this all happened out in the desert at a place called Giant Rock. Incidentally, the book is called Giant Rock. There's a real place called Giant Rock. It's located out in the middle of the desert. Near Palm Springs, about 40 miles northeast as a crow would fly. And that was where it happened. There's a lot of it's a hotbed of UFO activity out there. My uncle's name was George Van Tassel, who led the whole UFO contactee experiencer movement from like the 50s all the way to his death in 78. But there was a lot of activity going on out there.
What kind of activity?
Sightings. My uncle was the original UFO channeler. If you hear the word channel, well, that was him. He was the first guy when he was talking to Life magazine. They were asking, well, how do you do this? He says, it's like a TV channel in my mind. I'm able to communicate with them, and I can vis-a-vis just kind of change different channels within my brain and contact various entities in outer space. So
that just sounds crazy to me, though.
It does. I mean, all this stuff sounds absolutely crazy. But when you think about craziness, when there's like 100 billion galaxies and many planets just like us, you can just make one hell of assumption that there's creatures and people like us out there at some form, some organisms and things like that are out there, and so consequently that they would actually visit. But the one culture that seems to have been, especially during the 50s and 60s, which was the height of the abduction time period, the Greys were rampant. And this one study that came out of Harvard, they claimed that there was over at least 2 million people that have been abducted specifically by the Greys, because the same identification marks keeps coming up over and over and over and over. So they've been fingered.
What's the marks?
Excuse me?
Oh, this is John here. What's the marks, the identifying marks you mentioned? The same marks show up everywhere. What are they?
I don't recall seeing marks, but the identifying people, the description. What would happen is people would give written and verbal description of these aliens, and the same descriptions would come up over and over and over again as far as explaining what they were doing and how they looked. And so that was the big study. In fact, there's actually a film that's going to be coming out about that guy that did the study. He was a psychiatrist out of Harvard, and they did this huge study. And anyways, they that kind of validate a lot of people's.
Now, here's what's crazy to me is, I do believe that there is life out there. I want to believe, but you seem like a pretty intelligent, normal dude. But I have difficulty believing that you or anybody else, has been abducted by aliens. Just because I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, it's not like this is something that, I ran large oil and gas companies, mining companies. I've done investment banking. I'm until about 5 or 6 years ago, I told very few people about my experiences as far as this. It's not something you jump up and down about. So yeah, the only thing I can tell other people who haven't experienced this is that once you do, then your eyes are kind of opened, and so belief becomes more of a reality.
Are there ways to increase your chances of being abducted?
Yeah, I was on the Slim Shady show, and I told this guy, I said, "Yeah, just got the
Slim Shady show."
Yeah,
sounds like a good show.
Yeah, I told him to stand on. I had him engrossed. I told him, I said, go out in the desert.
What the fuck?
Stand on one leg,
is this
hop
an
up
M&M
and down,
show?
and then you'll bring attention to yourself. The bottom line is that I don't have any idea.
Hold on, I gotta slow you down, Chad. What the hell are you talking about, John? He said stand.
Oh, stand. I thought he said Slim Shady, and then he's like the
He did say Slim Shady.
Slim Shady show, and then it's like the host's name is Stan. I was like, wait a minute, what is this? Stan from the Slim Shady show. It sounds like an Eminem.
Before we
prank.
move on about what you, before we move on about what
On one leg, hop up and down. Anyway, I was just I don't know. And then the one guy said that he goes, "Oh my gosh," he says he was telling me that aliens were in fact prejudiced. One of the black guys on the show. I go, "No, they're not." I said, "Hey, you know, that abduction up in
guys say that aliens are prejudiced.
Right. How come no brothers are abducted?" It was really kind of funny. Yeah.
I think
They don't be abducting no brothers, man.
I believe Riley Martin said that they're prejudiced as well.
Barney Hill blew that statement away because that's the most famous, notorious of all the abduction things, and the guy was black. So, anyways, I had to explain that to him.
All right, I gotta slow you down just for John's sake. Tell me about Ken Kniff.
King Kniff, I don't know King Kniff.
From Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut.
What was this? What was this Slim Shady show? We need all the details on this before we can move on.
It was their network. It was Eminem's
Shade 45.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
You were on there, swaying in the morning.
Yeah, that was about a year ago. It was funny. You know what? To tell you the truth, I get in with all these very serious people and all these, black op peoples, and everyone's so effing serious. These shows are absolutely a relief. At least I can have a little bit of fun with this stuff because, it's a life and death. You get in this black op stuff, and it just gets really intense. So, yeah, this is fun. Yeah.
Does the government have alien technology?
Absolutely. They've got tons of it. Yeah, that's been going on. It's so, there's been another shadow government's been going on, and they've actually been traveling. There have been jump off spots where people have actually gone to Mars. All this stuff sounds so sci-fi, which is what I do. I wrote a science fiction book based on actual events called Giant Rock, so I got some of this stuff in there, which is, should pique somebody's interest out there.
Hold on, so for our listeners to understand what you're saying here about the government, about them using alien technology. So there's somehow what aliens have landed. Is that the claim? And then the government has their technology and is like reverse engineering it.
Yeah, actually, there's a couple of things. Number one, as far as transistors and fiber optics, there's no patents on them. They were just gifts that showed up out of nowhere that literally put us light years ahead of everybody the rest of the world.
Where do you think we got that stuff from?
Yeah, we got it. It's alien technology. It's what it is.
What's an example of one?
Well, transistors. We were, as far as that, microprocessing, fiber optics. Just think of the advanced technology that we actually enjoy right now. In fact, we're talking on it right now, but we're light years ahead of anybody else.
Are there any documents where people who actually come out and say, like the guy who worked on the transistor, who will say where he got the?
What's so funny is that there's no patents on a lot of this technology.
That is weird.
Nowhere. Okay, so that's one of the things that really intrigues me about.
But just because there's no patents doesn't mean they came out of nowhere.
Well, yeah. Well, listen. If you had a patent for fiber optics, wouldn't you want to have your name on that patent?
Yeah, that makes sense. That is what it's still the transistor radio is still unpatented to this day.
It's about the money.
Is that correct? Is that correct? These technologies still remain unpatented.
Yeah.
Can I go patent the transistor radio? What's stopping me?
I'm thinking, I don't understand, but they don't, there's all kinds of variations of it now, but the original patents, there was nobody that actually had claimed this stuff. So it's just insane. Where'd it come from? And then it goes back to Roswell.
Well, wasn't the patent system kind of new back then?
No. It's been around forever.
Yeah, but not everybody knew. I don't know. I thought it was weird because Edison, wasn't he the king of patenting things? And
yeah, he had 1 billion patents.
Yeah, the patent, heck, Tesla, all these people, we're talking, this is actually after, but
Tesla was bad with patents.
Yeah, he got screwed for patents.
You ever watch this Ancient Alien show?
Yeah, I'm so bled out on on all ancient.
Is that
aliens.
not the stupidest fucking thing you've ever seen in your life?
It just gets so redundant, and it's.
Well, my buddy was trying to tell me about how the pyramids and all these things are built by aliens, and all the stuff he's saying is, I'm just looking at him, and he's not a dumb guy by any means, and he's just telling, he's like, no, he's like, this wood or this stone cannot be carved this way, and I never watched the show, but he's like just reciting all this stuff to me. And I'm like, I don't believe that. Like, what do you mean? He's like, they didn't have the technology to cut the rock like that. I'm like, I call bullshit on that. Of course they did. Like anybody could do that.
Yeah, well,
you know, like
I wasn't there, so I can't tell you about the pyramids. Yeah,
the pyramids. There's I don't know. There's
on every continent how they were built and why they're built similarly and all that stuff. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah, but like so. But I was like, I looked at him and I said, dude, I was like, I don't believe anything you're saying. I know you do, but I was like, have you ever like gone to a website to see the counter argument on any of these things?
Have you ever done some actual research?
Yeah, and I went, but at the time I didn't know he was quoting ancient.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was quoting ancient aliens at the time.
Listen, I tell
quoting
everyone,
ancient aliens. Yeah, that's
now listen. So I have this. I look it up right in front of the guy, and I found the exact quotes that he was quoting. From that show, and I saw a sourced, cited counter argument.
Right.
To where like the guy's saying the rock's made out of this and it weighs 18,000 tons and there's no way this could have happened. And the counter argument is, if you actually do research and go to the Smithsonian or go to any of these places where it's registered, it's made out of completely different material than this guy's claiming, which is soft enough to cut. And it didn't weigh 18,000 tons. It weighed 4,000 tons. You know what I mean? So like the guy, they're just blatantly lying.
Right, and that's blown out
they
of
came from a spot down the Nile River and they floated them up and they had various contraptions, but that's a different animal. I don't know. I'm not a pyramid guy. Although it's very intriguing how these things popped up. So it's just something.
Everything on that ancient aliens is blatant lies.
Yeah.
And they deliver it like it's fact. And it's such a. I mean, it's on Discovery or something. You get sucked in, and
you
it's
think
like
it's real.
It's totally, very easy to believe that.
Don't believe ancient aliens.
Yeah, we were looking at maybe doing something with the History Channel with my uncle because my uncle was very interesting because he used to he was Howard Hughes' right hand man. He was no slouch himself. I mean he was doing a lot of stuff with Howard. Howard Hughes used to fly out to Giant Rock. He used to spend time there. When I was a little kid, I used to eat eggs and pancakes with the dude before he went insane. But a lot of really high power, a lot of military, all this stuff was going on out at Giant Rock because there was this 10-mile dry lake that was out there. People landed all kinds of planes, all kinds of stuff. It was a really hotbed of stuff.
Have I seen you on documentaries before? Because this sounds really familiar. This Giant Rock.
Yeah, your voice does too.
I don't know. I've done some stuff on this stuff, but yeah. But anyways,
I watched
something. I watched
something.
Like
just that one thing.
It's pedigree. This is where I grew up, and what I'm doing is basically just kind of bringing the story that I was around with all these crazy people and all that stuff, my own crazy experiences, and I'm just getting it as a feature film. Kind of to roll it out to be of interest. I'm more on the entertainment side. The fact checkers and all the other stuff. That's a whole different animal. My movie's based on actual real events. But the fact checkers they can do whatever they want as far
now,
as
is this Giant Rock? Is that like the place where like the kids will go out there and just take like a 12-pack with them and get sloshed and look for sightings?
Became that. It really did.
Yeah. I think I might have seen you on something, unless you.
I actually, when I was a little kid, I used to play down there. There's a piano. They used to use meetings inside of this 8-story rock. It's really intriguing. The energy is just extraordinary.
Meetings inside an 8-story rock. That rocks.
That rocks, dude.
No, but really,
it does.
Is it like carved out inside? The Giant Rock has meetings inside of it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, a guy named Frank Kreitzer lived up there for 11 years. My uncle lived there for a couple of years inside of the rock. I mean, it was, the temperature was perfect in the winter, perfect in the summer. When it was 110 outside, it'd be like 68.
What's the deal with this Giant Rock place? If science looked into it, or what's your theory? Or did the aliens tell you why they're doing this with the Giant Rock?
Well, obviously it's a big marker. I mean,
it's a giant rock.
Yeah, it's a giant rock. You've got this huge landing strip, dry lake, perfect landing strip, natural landing strip, and then you have this giant rock right next to it. So if you're an alien,
it's not that big though. I mean, it's not like you can see it from space or something.
8 stories. Yeah, it's big, dude. It's one of the biggest in the world.
If you're coming from a million light years away, a giant rock's not really going to help you find a place. I guess maybe once you get to the general area, you see the giant rock.
Check this out.
It's probably like the giant, the dry lake. I don't know. Good question.
Check this out, John. I'm reading the Wikipedia here. This giant rock is a freestanding boulder that covers 5,800 square feet.
5,800.
5,800 square feet. That's fucking huge.
It's big.
It says it's purported to be the largest freestanding boulder in the world. That's insane.
Holy ground by the Native Americans. Okay, that's enough answer for me.
So it says to your who's George Van Tassel to you? You said your dad.
He's my uncle.
Your uncle. Your uncle. It says on this Wikipedia leased the
uncle.
Yeah, your Uncle George.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it says he looking on land. So he leased that land.
BLM, yeah, he had controlled that land through mining claims and BLM, yeah, for all the years till he died.
He's a legend, says this site.
He is a legend.
The legends, Charlie Ress, Frank
He's
Kreitzer,
revered. I
George
mean,
Van
yeah,
Tassel.
really, that's why the story really has legs. He's revered. I haven't been able to go anywhere in the world without somebody knowing who my uncle was and spending most of my free time talking about some of the technology and some of the research he had done. He built this Integratron, this huge dome out there, which was a time machine. And then,
Is it really? Wait, I mean, you can't just say something like that. But what now? It's a time machine. That's all.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man. That rocks.
And then then check this out. I run into people who like physicists and astrophysicists and other people who actually had worked with him. And again, I mean, I've had all these people tell me, you don't know what's going on, et cetera. I said, well, yeah, I used to play in the thing. I was a little kid, I mean, in the 60s, I was around all this stuff. And then there were 11 to 15,000 people show up out in the middle of the desert, where basically I didn't see 250 people all year. It's just like a huge circus. So I said, hey, man, before everyone dies, I need to get this thing on film and show some people what, in fact it is.
It says that on this Wikipedia, it says a single large room, which was subsequently filled in, was dug beneath the rock and resided in by a prospector named Frank Kreitzer, who you were talking about, during the 30s and early 40s.
Yep.
He was a friend of Van Tassel's. And he perished in a self-detonated dynamite explosion in this room in 1942 while being investigated by local police. What was he being investigated for?
He was killed. No, they thought he was a German immigrant. He spoke broken English, and he built this huge tower with a shortwave radio and was speaking in German during the war all over North America. So they thought he was a spy. And so no, he didn't kill himself. They killed him.
So why did he kill himself?
No, he didn't kill himself. No, what had happened is
it says self-detonated on the Wikipedia.
But why would he kill himself, though?
Yeah, well, yeah. Why would you kill yourself? No, actually, he wouldn't come out. So what they did is he was a miner.
He wouldn't
and he had
come
dynamite.
out of the cave.
He had nitroglycerin down there. And guess what? They threw smoke and to get him out of there, and it ignited, and he got eviscerated. Blew his body completely into smithereens in the middle of the rock.
They tried to smoke him out, and it ignited the dynamite.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, no, he didn't kill himself. No.
So that has nothing to do with the aliens and stuff. It's just the people trying to smoke them out were just idiots or they didn't care.
Yeah, but actually, Frank Kreitzer, and I did research on this. My uncle met him in 1930. My uncle actually backed him to go out there in 1930. He came in to this gas station in Santa Monica. My uncle and his uncle backed him with the money to go out there and do that because he had this vision that he'd got from this council of 7 lights. He was supposed to go out there and mine and create this movement out there. So he went out there and he was the original space channel. He was actually the original space channeler. So and my uncle was visiting back and forth for all during that time period. Then Frank got killed out there. Then my uncle, about 6 years after that, came out and brought the whole family out there.
It says that that it's split in half.
Oh yeah, it's a Hopi shaman.
What?
Yeah, Hopi shaman it's a prophecy. It said if this thing splits in half, then Mother Earth was disillusioned with man and would not accept the prayers given on behalf of it. But
all rocks are gonna fucking split in half.
But if the rocks stayed on the side, revealing pressure on the Earth's tectonic plates, then man's prayers were answered and a new era would be
You're mumbling.
However, if the rock split on the side, relieving pressure on the Earth's tectonic plates,
getting closer to the mic does not reduce mumbling. Don't get closer to the mic.
However, okay, let me read this. They say it's a vortex, a very powerful vortex for physical and spiritual healing.
Yeah, that is true. That is. It's there's some weird energy out there, man. It really
so you believe in God and aliens?
Yeah, it's all the same thing. No, we're all
you
God.
think the aliens are God? Okay, so you're on the
new
age
guy.
Yeah,
it's all the same thing.
Oh, it's stuff on the stuff.
God's a fucking alien.
Well,
Get over it. Deal with it.
Like Ezekiel's will and all.
What tells me about Ezekiel's will? What is that?
And the Nephilians and all the angels who came down and bred with the daughters of man, all that stuff. What were those people? Do you think those people Could they be aliens or were they angels? And what's the difference?
They're fallen angels. What is the Ezekiel's wheel? What is that? I've been hearing about this. I heard a song called "Chilling with Ezekiel's Wheel." It's like, what the hell is Ezekiel's wheel? And you mentioned
it's in the Bible, and he was talking about Ezekiel's will that came out of the sky, and he's describing a spaceship. Okay,
wow.
So I mean, if you read close in the Bible, all they're talking about is aliens. So that's when people, they want to get semantical with me as far as angels or aliens. I think they're one of the same. Oh.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Do you agree with that, John?
I think they're fallen angels. I think they're the third of the angels that got cast out of heaven that followed Lucifer, and they're trying to destroy mankind. They're trying to trick us, and here they are, and they're about to do it.
They're tricking us again.
The aliens?
Yeah. They're not quote aliens. They're the deceiver. They're the bad guys that are trying to kill us.
What are fallen angels?
Demons.
Tell me what a fallen angel is. They fall out of the sky. Is that what an angel does?
It refers to the fall of the angels. There's a war in heaven, and it's like Satan. This guy Lucifer said, like, "Oh, I'm really God, and I'm awesome. And you should worship me." And God said, "No, you can't do that. You have to leave." And so 30 angels went with him and said, "We're going to leave and worship this guy." And now they fight amongst each other, trying to deceive us.
I love this. This is good. Part of my thing is comparative religions.
Me too. I love religious stuff. This Hopi shaman thing's got me flipping out, blowing my brain, dude.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
It's just rocks so much. This topic rocks.
Oh no, it's huge. And actually, this is what's so strange about all. I mean, this is weird science, strange world, et cetera. The people come out of the woodwork as far as that have some sort of connection or story about the rock or the integratron as far as this whole thing. I mean, I run to people, it's just crazy, the stories I've heard about this. And I mean, it goes from very, very weird. I mean, as in disappearing people, the stories are just incredible that I've heard.
Chad.
Yeah.
Let's get down to brass tacks here. What'd they put in your butthole?
Well, it's like, they steel instruments were definitely present at the earth. And it's funny, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Is it the classic abduction story, steel things?
And I had a steel rod go in the back of my spine. I mean,
Spinal tap.
You got a spinal tap, dude. That kind of rocks. But what about the bum hole? Did you get it up the bum hole?
Yeah, I don't. I think it was all. I think every hole had an instrument in it.
Yeah. Now, why do you think they're doing that? Are they testing us, or what are they doing?
I think they're looking for, various DNA. They're doing a lot of, there's things called, hominoids. They're basically out there. I think they're trying to take DNA and do some DNA splicing with their own dying race or whatever they're trying to do. That's my guess.
Hybrid breeding program, you say? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Why would they send you back?
That is a great question. Why would they?
And you know what?
So you can go tell people about them?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Well, actually, you know what? I never told anybody about this I didn't tell my wife about this until 2 years after we were married.
Why?
I was not.
Yeah, why?
No. This is something that,
why not?
Like, if you told somebody this at 4 years old, they would probably think that there was something wrong with you.
Right.
So no, I never did. I mean, I told when I was like 15 and 16, my sister had an experience with the sighting, and my brother had another weird. We compared notes when we were like in our teens, but other than that, I mean,
How do you know? Do you know when they're coming, or is it just like boom? What the fuck's going on?
Well, actually, I always get premonitions, like as far as in dreams when I see a sighting, and I've seen about 27 actual bona fide, and we're talking UFOs. That means unidentified flying objects. I cannot explain them. They're not a plane, not a helicopter. I can't explain them, but I've had about 27 of them, my whole entire life. And I do get premonitions about them.
What about those explanations that they were, those flying saucers that we saw were like originally surveillance, like audio surveillance equipment that the government was working on and didn't want anybody to know about it, so that's why they covered it up.
Well, now with the black ops and all the people that have come forward, the thing you don't know the difference between them or ours, because our technology has just grown exponentially that most people would have no clue that even exists. That's out there, and they are buzzing us, and so I don't know. But that's why I'm saying that as far as UFOs, probably the last 15 or 20 years, of sightings I've had recently, I don't know. They could even be, one of our own. I don't know.
What about that?
Yeah.
What about that farmer? That was the best story ever. The farmer, I don't know, what was that, 50s or something? And these big silver discs were reported flying, or pieces of them. And this guy fucking saw one and it had these tentacles hanging off of it. And he like grabbed one of the tentacles and the thing like carried him away, but he kept hanging on. And eventually brought the thing down, and it was like a giant silver balloon that like Germany or Russia had sent off, and each tentacle was a rope with bombs hanging off of it. And it was like
I saw that. I just saw that somewhere. Yeah.
And these bombs, they still find them every once in a while, these undetonated bombs, because they sent like thousands of these things. And as I think like a balloon was timed to pop so it wouldn't it would just stay in this certain like a weather field at the top. I don't remember the details. I'm not a scientist, but it was, I don't know, it was pretty awesome, and it worked.
Yeah.
Like half of them went into the ocean, but the other half made it to the United States and would just fucking blow up. Random shit. Just these balloons sent over the ocean with bombs on them.
That's a Hail Mary.
I think the balloons came from Japan. I think they were actually.
That's a long travel, dude. That's insane.
Yeah.
Let's put bombs on balloons and just kind of let them go over there.
And this, one of them flew over this guy's field. He's like, "What the hell?" And he fucking grabbed one of the
alien.
Yeah, there's like these silver balls hanging off, and he like grabbed one of them, and the thing just kept going, and he went on a ride.
That's a wild ride, man.
Yeah, and he was able to like tie the thing to a tree, and then the government thanked him, and because people were finding pieces of this shrapnel. I mean, obviously, it looked like a UFO, like this big flying disc, which it was a UFO until they realized what it was.
Well, I mean, listen. It's so easy.
That was hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll get it when you hear it back. You looped.
So they implant you with anything? You have an implant?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No. Oh.
My buddy has this special mark like inside of two of his teeth. And
really?
The dentist said that he's only seen it once before in his life, and it's the weirdest thing he'd ever seen. I think he had it too, and said that he likes to think that it's aliens.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing the next day I could not complete a complete sentence, and I had a really high temperature. That was the only real side effects as far as my experiences back then.
That could be explained. Whoa,
I've heard of it. I've heard of implants. Go ahead.
I would say now that could be explained as just like when you get a fever or something like that, you can hallucinate real bad. That's happened to me. I was just freaking out over something, and I woke up the next day and had vague recollection of running around the house screaming, grabbing people, just because I was sick, and I started like hallucinating, having these freakouts.
Yeah, I wasn't sick the night before. I wasn't sick the night before, but yeah, I woke up with a really high fever. I don't know what they're doing. That's generally an indication that they put something in, and I've had.
So they did implant. Oh,
yeah, but I don't have any now.
I'm on a couple of UFO websites doing research, and they're making things crazy. They're making the computer go crazy. These UFO websites.
Oh, that's our fault.
I think so.
Well, only one website at a time, John.
Right.
We're on the old machine.
They know who you are.
That's what it is, and I'm now being gang stalked, so it's working. So you're telling me that's a sign of? That was very eerie. You know something. You tell them gang stalkers, come bring it on. They can have a sandwich with me, don't you? So you said, but a fever is a sign of getting an implant, but you said you're not implanted. How do you know? And would you like to know?
Well,
would you like to be?
Since then, I've had X-rays. I've had.
Yeah, you've done the X-rays. Okay.
All crap. There's nothing there, so I don't know.
You got off easy.
Do you ever like?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't explain it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because you seem very level-headed. You're not out there doing crazy, foolish shit. But like if you saw I'm not saying you're crazy by any means. I'm saying if you saw a psychiatrist, we were talking about psychiatrists and psychologists earlier, and you told them this, like, what do you think their initial reaction would be? Would they say? I mean, would they humor you with the idea, or I guess it depends on the psychologist, or do you think they'd like try and medicate you?
Well, I think nowadays they'd probably try to medicate you, but
it's not affecting your life.
Yeah, what they generally do? They do regressive therapy, which I've done it twice, and that's generally what they try to do is regressive hypnotherapy, and they try to bring you back. But I don't know how effective that stuff is. I've never been able to forget about any of these experiences I've had. As far as that.
That's what they do to. That's what Jeff Bridges does to Pro.
I don't know, but the data's out there. Yeah.
Yeah, remember that old K-Pax? That's what they did to Pro.
They regressed him.
Yeah, they regressed him because he was the other way around. He was claiming to be an alien. then they regressed him and realized that he was a human being. You know, who
from the planet K-Pax.
No, he was.
That was his delusion.
That he drowned. You know, he had water. There was something weird like that.
Oh, wow.
What do you think? Do you think any of those alien movies are on or off? Like, do you think they're close to the reality?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind's probably the closest one. My uncle was actually the creative consultant for that one, Steven Spielberg's, and that was a composite of a bunch of events that occurred. Dun, dun, dun,
so you're running with all the great filmmakers, Steven Spielberg,
so
Howard Hughes.
Yeah, Fire in the Sky.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember Chris told me about this movie. It was in grade school. It was like, oh, man, you want to see a good movie? Check this out. Fire in the Sky.
That was the one that you could get at McDonald's.
Yeah. That Field of Dreams, I got that at McDonald's once. But yeah,
that was
Fire in the Sky, that freaked me out, dude. Thanks, Chris.
That's what I'm here for, brother. I tried to watch that Fire in the Sky recently, and it sucked.
Yeah, that's what happens.
That Paul's excellent.
They should redo it. What's Paul? What is that?
I don't know. How would you explain it, Chad? Paul?
I don't know. Shit. I don't know.
Paul.
It's those two guys from those movies.
I don't know.
It's that
How
guy.
do you explain that? Huh?
It's that Shaun of the Dead guy. It's that Simon Pegg.
Oh, and his friend is like
Nick Frost.
Okay, those guys are a pretty good duo.
Yeah, and they're like go to Comic-Con and they're going to Roswell and they're on this like alien tour. You know.
Right,
alien tour's big business. I mean, I'm telling you what. This whole alien thing is, I've been invited to speak various places. It's not my thing. I'm just a filmmaker, and I just don't want to go do that. I mean, I do radio. I do a lot of radio shows and all that stuff to get the thing. But I have no. You know what? I have no. I'm not trying. I'm the kind of person that I really don't care what people believe. I'm not trying to convince.
On that note,
anything as far as this stuff goes, because I have no dog in the hunt, I just know what happened to me. And I know, a few people I ran into, if somebody came to me and told me what I tell people happened to me, I wouldn't be, I'm not sure how credible it would be even for myself. I know it happened to me, but I don't know the other person. So, you always have the big question mark. So
yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying because everyone's like, hey, somebody will be like, hey, I saw this really cool thing.
Brotherly love, they're here to help us.
All you saw was Venus and swamp gas.
Oh, so you're saying that Stephen Hawking is wrong.
Wow, you heard it here first. Chad C. Meek calling out old Steve Hawking over there.
No. He actually, you know what he says?
He said don't contact them because they're going to make us slaves and kill us all.
Yeah, he definitely warned us from bringing those guys through on CERN, bringing them through.
He brings up the Indian. He says what they're going to do is they're going to colonize us and make us slaves, which I basically take exception.
It's possible.
To the man in the wheelchair about that, but I do because it doesn't make any sense because the technology they have, if you can travel basically quietly, and roam around planet Earth, travel at light speed.
You see that theory of everything, man? That made me ball my eyes out.
And so you already have the capability to be able to kill us anyway. So
what if they're not aliens from a different dimension or whatever? What if there's something else?
Something else? What are you referring to?
I don't know. What do
you mean? What do you mean another dimension?
Well, no, I didn't mean to say that. What if they're
not?
What if they
are from another dimension?
Or from another dimension? Yeah, and that's what the whole demon theory is. That some bad stuff from other dimensions coming through.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Yeah,
I don't know what the difference is, but I don't want them over here if they're going to fuck us up.
Like that Are You Afraid of the Dark episode when Sardo gives them those glasses.
Sardo.
Accent on the dough. And they give them those glasses, and the kids put them on, and they see all these shadow people, and then eventually they're surrounded by them in a different dimension. They get sucked into it and never come back. And it's like one of the only Are You Afraid of the Darks that ends badly, and the kids don't win.
Well, yeah, I've seen the ones where the kids don't win. I've seen a few of them. They're good. That gets trapped in the machine or the game or whatever forever.
You guys watch a lot of TV, don't you?
It's just like that movie They Live with Roddy Piper in it.
That's a trip, yeah.
No, glasses on.
I don't wear that stuff.
Well, you don't wear the glasses?
Yeah.
You should, man. You should try wearing them.
No, I don't wear the glasses. In fact, you know what? I used to be. Hey, I'll tell you a story. I was at Morton Thiokol. We were doing this huge oil and gas exploration, exploration program out in Nevada, and so I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get this, scientific group involved in this thing, Morton Thiokol. They had all their rocket scientists. I figured they'd be interested in wanting to find out what's, in the center of the state of Nevada. And this one guy comes in and he goes, you look like a guy that I know. And I go, well, no, no, not me. I don't know anybody. He says, yeah, where are you from? I said, I'm from California. He goes, where in California? And he goes on, the guy will not let up on me. He says, where'd you grow up? I said, well, a place out near Yucca Valley, near Landers. He says, you look like George Van Tassel. And I go, oh, God, I know where this is going. So it's never been like, I used to sit there, and I know you guys don't smoke marijuana. First of all, I absolutely know that. But me and my buddies in the let's call it in the 70s, we'd sit around and we would have these bamboo instruments and sit around and watch TV. My uncle would pop up. And, and he was on like 500 TV stations, shows telling about what he is. So my uncle would show up on TV. If you could imagine basically sitting around with your bros around the table with a few brews, John, and the bamboo things there, and your uncle popped on TV. And so what do you say? And everyone's going, oh, wow, that's rad. That's cool. And I'm sitting there. I'm like a mute. I don't even want to bring it up.
What was he doing on the TV?
Talking about aliens.
Talking about aliens and stuff?
Yeah. What kind of bamboo instruments, like vibraphones or something?
Vibraphones, but yeah. How about I think the layman's term was bamboo bong pipes.
Oh, those instruments. Hey, let me tell you a story. This one time, my friend and I made a pact that we wanted to know what it'd feel like to be slipped LSD, and we really trusted each other. So we said, whenever you feel like it, I trust you to dose me. Well, I got him pretty good. He saw demons popping out of the wall, but he wasn't aware he was on LSD, so he didn't tell me the demons were on the wall till way later because he thought he was schizophrenic and losing his fucking mind. So he was just walking around with demons popping out in his day-to-day life, and he never admitted to it until I told him.
To maintain everything's okay. Everything's just fine.
He was just silent, but he had this weird look on his face. So then like a year went by, and I went to the Smashing Pumpkins concert, and I came back.
Oh, man.
I came back to my buddy's house, and I was all hammered. And I ate these like peach rings, thinking nothing of it. And there was a room full of fucking people. And as time went by, I realized that I was doing things that I normally wouldn't be doing.
That goes on.
Unraveling.
I was the Pink Floyd was sounding really, really good on the player.
Come to find out, there was no Pink Floyd.
Yeah. My friend was freaking. My other friend, Dr. Robert, was scaring the shit out of me because the cocksucker had a fucking video camera in my face the whole time.
Hey man, how you feeling?
And I was like, dude, there's something wrong with this guy. Why the fuck's this guy got a video camera in my fucking face?
Hey man,
so that wasn't wrong. When I did it to my friend, it was very safe. I didn't really tell anybody. I was like, don't fuck with this guy. Now, meanwhile, my buddy, who's also tripping, the Dr. Robert, he's got a fucking video camera in my face with this special trip mix that he made. And
here's a guy that goes to see Nine Inch Nails on LSD.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I realize I'm blowing bubbles, and I'm drawing on the wall with chalk, and I'm wearing a mask. And we're all giggling, and I'm like standing up, talking real fast, giggling, like this music sounds really good. I'm crying. I have tears pouring out of my face. What the hell's going on? Did somebody slip me acid? And my fucking bitch of a friend, Jessica, said, you think somebody slipped your acid? When she was on acid too. This fucking bitch says, Brake and I think that somebody slipped us acid. And so she's standing up like starting a fucking campaign trying to figure out, did somebody slip us something? Meanwhile, damn well she knows that we're both on acid.
Oh, that's weird.
And and the only agreement that I had with my friend, who she wasn't even involved with this, the only agreement I had with my friend, so fuck him too, was that when you ask if you've been slipped acid, you have to say yes. Otherwise, it's going to get really scary. And I immediately began to have a bad trip.
Wow.
I began to have a bad trip because this fucker was lying to me.
But right.
And I clammed up and I ripped the mask off and I sat down. And I was like, I'm not staying. I was like, I'm not participating in any of this because I feel like I'm acting the way I shouldn't be acting right now. My head started going crazy. I started getting paranoid.
The only people you trust straight up lying to you. That happened to me one time when I was doing things. Something like it really freaked me out. Sexy Sarah and Pong Fongy. They just kept telling me that they kept bringing attention to this my hand, and my hand had I just severed a nerve, and I had surgery on it. And I was like, you guys, please don't mention that. And they just kept laughing. They're like, oh, it looks like a goose. It looks like this. Oh, it's
I
the
remember
hand.
that.
It's the hand. They made a song about it or something. I was like, you guys, just please stop talking about my hand.
They kept focusing on this wound you had.
Yeah, asking about it, talking about it. I was like,
what were you guys on, mushrooms or LSD?
I was on the old LSD.
Ah.
They weren't on anything. So that's, I was,
They weren't on anything. Oh,
no.
Did you do that thing? Was that a common thing for you where you would just do it by yourself?
Yeah, just because I was yeah.
What do you know about that, Chad? Do you ever do LSD by yourself or mushrooms?
No, of course not.
With friends?
I grew up in the 60s. Yeah, I grew up in the 60s in Los Angeles. I never touched any of the bad stuff there. I just pretended. What I did is I smoked a bong, but I didn't inhale. See, that's what I did. I faked it, the whole thing. The bottom line is that I had your pretty much normal, I actually believed in the whole, peace, love, dope thing.
Chad, are you a pothead?
I know. Actually, I don't do anything other than have a few glasses of wine now. Everything else bores me now. But yeah, I remember fondly of some of the days and some of the events.
A glass of wine bores me.
Yeah. Well, get a little older, man.
John doesn't drink.
John, well, listen, what is it, court ordered, or you just don't drink?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Really?
Well, not court ordered that I can't drink, but I got the DUI. That was court ordered.
Oh, that was years ago.
It was, but I learned my lesson. Don't go out and drink. But you were innocent,
right?
No, I was totally guilty.
You were okay. Well, that's good. Yeah. It's like when I hit the back of that 58 Chevy in my 76 Datsun pickup truck, I was innocent.
That was you.
It was me. It was me.
Wasn't me, man. I was temporarily abducted.
Yeah.
No, and you know what? The great thing about it is no one got hurt. I basically had the motor and transmission pop up into my cab, and I ran about 3 miles, passed on the floor, woke up, and I, honest to God, thought that somebody had stole my truck. I looked out there. I could not recall. Couldn't piece the thing together. Then it finally dawned on me that it was me.
Yeah,
there you go. Adventures in drinking.
I got robbed at a liquor point by myself once.
Oh, man.
That's a song lyric I wrote down 15 years ago and never got to use. Don't steal that.
Well, you guys, where are you guys broadcasting at, or is that a secret?
Roswell.
Underground bunkers.
Yeah.
Indianapolis.
DUMBs.
Indianapolis, Indiana. Crossroads.
Indianapolis? Oh, God. Dang. Hell, my gosh.
God dang hell, my gosh.
What do you know about Indianapolis?
I love the place.
We want to hear your real feelings here. I know that people hate it because of the whole gay thing. We've talked to people about that.
What? Well, that's still going on?
Probably. I hope it's not. Hopefully they forgot about it. Well, you had a negative reaction, like, oh, Indiana. Uh-oh. Now, why is that? Is that because you're from the west side?
Breaking up a little bit.
Do you guys hate us on the west coast? You guys out there? Do you guys not like Indiana? That's the vibe I get.
I'm down in Mexico right now. If you can hear me, I'm down in Mexico. I'm on the Pacific coast.
Nice.
On the beach right now, looking at the ocean.
What are you doing down there? Are you friends with Jesse Ventura?
Yeah, come on down. Come on down with the other. You can be the aliens down here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great place. It's warm.
Are you friends with Jesse Ventura?
God. Yeah, actually, you know what? I know him. He's down further south. But, yeah. You want to talk to... Get Jesse on your show.
Yeah, we'd love to do that.
Yeah, set that up for us.
Yeah, he's impressive, man. I'm telling you what. I tell you, he'll basically straighten you guys out on the whole UFO, black ops, secret societies, the whole thing. I tell you, he's a great guy, man. He really is.
I think we're gonna get on that. Hopefully next week he'll be on the show.
Jesse's
governor. Get Jesse on the show. Really, he's 10 times better than I, and he's so informed about all this stuff. Me, it's just my pedigree. I mean, I came by this by accident. All this other stuff. I didn't ask to be abducted. I didn't ask to be George Van Tassel's nephew, and I didn't ask to be out in the middle of the desert. I actually would have preferred to have a regular house in town. So, just by default.
So you said this. So this movie you're working on, it's in pre-production. You said you hope it's going to be out by when? 2017.
Yeah,
You said the estimated budget on that's $40 million.
Yeah, our budget's $40 million. We came close getting a couple of people, signed up, but then one thing or another, usually it's creative control or some other nonsense. What I don't want this thing to turn into is Indiana Jones or Temple of Doom.
Indiana.
Yeah, Indianapolis or doomed. Yeah. I want this thing to be real, and the story's good, and we had people from Warner Brothers originally, scar tissue from there. And the one guy, he was involved with Pirates of the Caribbean, and he just wanted to screw the script so bad I just couldn't stand it anymore, so I fired them all. But so now we're out looking for some more money. Like I said, had a couple. Somebody's going to do this thing simply because it's so contemporary. It's based on real true events. I don't know how many UFO stories are based on real events.
Fire in the sky. Was that Fire in the Sky? That was based on real events.
Yeah,
right?
it was.
That's what it said at the
on
beginning.
the cover. Yeah.
That one seemed pretty authentic because it wasn't like showing any crazy shit,
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, just the guy, they got a phone call from him saying help or whatever. He's like naked in the fucking gas station. What is that?
No, that's the movie. That's Giant Rock the movie.com. Giant Rock the movie.
Is the script complete?
Yeah, the script's complete.
First
ready
draft?
to go, ready to shoot. Yeah.
They'll bring in,
Chris
they'll bring in
Christopherson,
50,
he wanted in the thing. Tom Sizemore, Rudolph Martin, they've all signed up to be in. There's
Rudy.
a bunch of
You got Chris?
yeah,
Nice.
a bunch of Hollywood types.
That rocks.
Want to be in it.
That rocks.
That's fucking awesome. Now, what kind of role would he play? Would he be like Van Tassel? Did I say that right?
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. A lot of fun with a lot of people.
What role did Chris Christopherson want to play? Or did not get that far?
Yeah.
What role did he? Oh.
Oh, there. You're fading out. Go
I
ahead.
was saying, what role did Christopherson want to play? Or were you trying to get him to play?
Oh, man. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
God dang it. You guys are breaking up, man. At any rate, bottom line is that, you guys want to you want to be in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yes. Yeah.
How are we going to do that? We got to come meet you, or how do we do that?
I think one of you guys need to be one of the aliens.
Sweet, man.
I vote John.
I'll do that. Well, you're joking.
Yeah.
You're joking.
No, he's not joking. I didn't hear any sarcasm in that at all. He's 100% serious. We're going to hold him to it.
Yeah, I want to be in the movie, Chad. Can I be in the movie?
Yeah.
I think we're cutting out.
Well,
all right, cool.
Well, listen, hey man, thanks. You guys are breaking up, but anybody wants to, definitely go to my website, www.giantrockthemovie.com. You can see the trailer, and keep looking for us, or go buy the book, buy it on Kindle. I'd appreciate it.
$4.99. That's a pretty good deal, Kindle.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, listen, I can't hear you, but I'm gonna check
that's
out.
What's going on? All right, thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
I like that guy.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he sent us a copy of his book. It's in the email if you want to read it, John. I read the first chapter. It looked pretty intriguing.
And that's what the movie is going to be about, his story.
GiantRockTheMovie.com. Go Giant Rock, the Kindle by Chad Meek. Meek. That was pretty interesting. Now, were we cutting out, or is there a conspiracy?
I don't know.
He didn't want to tell me who Christopherson was playing.
And he didn't really want me to be in the movie.
He didn't want you to be in the movie. He didn't want to tell us who Christopherson was playing. He smoked but didn't inhale.
Right. I've heard that before somewhere.
And we need to contact the body immediately.
The body, right, the mind, the body, Jesse Ventura. But he didn't tell us how to do that.
No.
He just agreed that we needed to.
Well, I think he suggested it, actually.
Yeah, you need to get Jesse on this show.
So this Nick Frost and this Simon Pegg, right, and Paul, they're going through, they're on their, he cut me off really when I was trying to explain this to you.
Oh, okay.
They're going on their UFO tour, across Nevada and all that shit, New Mexico. And they hit an alien with their car.
Oh, man, dude.
Yeah.
That's some serious stuff.
And he needs their help. And the alien looks just like the aliens on the stickers in the 90s.
Yeah.
And he's voiced by Seth Rogen.
No, the alien is Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
That happens, man. Those people flying through the desert hit an alien.
Yeah, they hit a fucking alien. And
what are you gonna do?
And then they got Jason Bateman, as like a detective following him, and Bill Hader's one of the cops, I think. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, man. I liked it. And I don't know if I've ever watched any of that Simon Pegg guy's movies. Well, I think that's the end of our show. John, do you have something you want to say?
I just
Huh?
I really want to be in that movie, man. The alien. I want to play the alien in the movie. Giant rock.
You'd have to look like a gray, and he said they're short.
Yeah.
They need little people for that.
Yeah. It was his idea.
You're
he
too
said,
big.
Yeah, I'm
well,
too
I think
fat.
he was.
I'd be the fat, gray, 30-year-old alien.
It could be the Seth Rogen alien.
There you go. Hey, dude. There you go. Yeah. I might be able to pull that off.
I think you could. I got faith in you.
I'm gonna email him and tell him that I'll fly down there and do it.
No. He's got to pay you to fly.
Oh,
don't volunteer anything.
Okay.
He's got to offer you room and board and a trailer. Maybe not your own trailer. We can share a trailer.
Yeah. You get both of us. He's like, I just want one of you. Well, hey, we're both coming.
Yeah, as long as you don't jerk off in the trailer, it should be okay.
If I got the alien suit, well, I'm fine.
Alien suit.
And then we'll send you on the.
But how would you do that in the alien suit? Would you? Oh, you wouldn't.
Yeah, as long as I got the alien suit, I'm protected.
I wonder if you did have a big costume like that. You know what's creepy? I wonder if any of those. I'm trying to think of big costumes, and I'm thinking Disney characters. Yeah. I wonder if there's any freaks who just walk around Disney theme park and they're Winnie the Pooh character jerking off.
Oh, and then, you know what? There probably is. That's just gross. Don't do that, guys. Come on now.
I bet you that happens.
I almost guarantee it.
I like to watch those Disney fail videos. I'm a big fan of those fails on the YouTube.
What are those?
You just type in fail or type in. I like scare cam too. Those are my favorite. Scare cam. It's like it's just teeny boppers usually, and like they'll for example, this girl's going to put the pizza in the oven, and when she opens it, her friend is in the oven. Throws the pizza.
Dude, we should do some of those.
They're all handheld.
That'd be hilarious.
They're pretty good.
The jokes don't turn out, you end up getting punched or something.
Yeah. But the Disney fail ones are pretty good because they're all theme park related, and it's like, the Beast is like up there from Beauty and the Beast.
Right.
And like his pants fall down, or somebody's dancing, the character's head falls off.
Oh man! Wow,
they take
dramatic.
that shit real seriously.
Yeah,
that is dramatic. Hey John, can you do half this list with me?
I can do this. The one that I can see.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank Darren Snyder at Indian Tune and Mike Moore at WFODix.com and John G at 405. John G at 405 Media Group. Matt Leroy from Beauty and the Beast. Mary Elizabeth Rumsey at meandrhyme.wordpress.com. Rich Barker from Punk Rock Night at melodyan.com. I'm just stuttering all over the place. John.
Ron at Radio Max Music. Jeremy at Couch Potato Nation. Shout out to all you guys for playing the show. Mark at Tangent Mountain Network. Jack at the Mix FM. Suma Peter at Loud Tana Online Radio. I think Chris, isn't he coming out of
Africa?
Out of Africa. Wow, I like that.
John,
okay,
click that mouse.
We also want to take time to say hello and thank you to Tom at TalkStream Live.
Are Linda and Ron playing our show anymore? They don't respond to our emails when we send it to them.
I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know what's the deal with it. They're from Ireland, You can't trust
Scotland.
them. Scotland, even worse. Linda and Ron at
those are two different countries, right?
Scotland and Ireland, they sound the same to me.
Tom at TalkStream Live, Mike at IRN Internet Radio Network, Toby at the Radio Blitz, the Morris Soundman at United Sounds Choice, Tico at FJS Radio, Peter at Cornucopia Broadcasting, and Big Nate on the air at Cover Charge Radio.
Dropping bombs.
I liked that guy.
I love that guy. He did a lot of good work.
Work?
Yeah, for us, he did work for us. He did the show, like, whatever,
Dude, man, I carry that whole show on my fucking shoulders, just like I do every fucking day. All right, thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope you play it, and I know this is recording, and I hope you play it. Okay, see you guys.